episode is going to be a little bit different. Today's episode, we're going to be talking about the word almost. People are like, almost? That's a really weird subject. Well, what we're going to be talking about is how people give value to the word almost. So let's say, for example, you're driving in a parking garage and it's very, very tight, very, very cramped, and you turn a corner and someone is like sticking out and you almost hit their car. And then you continue on, but you get in the elevator and that person you see that person and they turn to you, you almost hit my car, you almost gave me a heart attack, you almost ran over my son. Firstly, the word almost is what we use when we're trying to give value to something that never happened. If, let's say, for example, you were almost in an accident and we turn to someone, it's like, one time I almost lost my life because of this incident that almost happened. Well, guess what? It never happened. But the devil tries to trick us into thinking that there's value in something that never happened. And especially we use it to value fear. We get afraid and we feel like that's a personal affront to us. How dare someone make us afraid? It's like, you almost hit me, I'm afraid, but I'm not going to say it out loud, so I'm just going to pretend as though I'm angry, with justifiable angriness for something that never happened. Yes, when people use the word almost, it means that either they got their hopes up, like for example saying, oh, I almost won the lottery, but I didn't, so I'm still poor, but I almost won. So you're trying to give value to something that never happened. You're still poor, or you say, oh, I almost fell off a cliff once. Well, you didn't fall off a cliff, you're alive. But that fear, that emotional response, that excitement or that letdown or something, we're trying to give value to it. Really, these things are valueless. Basically, if you say it another way, if you tell someone, oh, I'm actually reliving past trauma from fear that I had, which has given me a phobia because I can't stop thinking about an event that never actually took place. Right? If you say that to someone, they're going to look at you like, what? Are you crazy? What's wrong with you? Just let it go. But if you say to someone, oh, someone almost hit me, I can't stop thinking about it, right? Somehow that's valued more. We're like, I understand. I'm sorry if you feel that way, Instead of saying, well, I'm really just scared and it's giving me a mental thing and really it's all in my mind because I'm reacting to something that's currently going on in my mind. There's no external stimuli, but I'm having an internal stimuli reaction, So in life, please try to avoid using the word almost, or like, you can use it, but what I'm saying is try to avoid giving value to things that don't actually happen. And the devil loves this. It's one of the devil's tools. I snuck it in there, you weren't expecting it. But yeah, the devil's tools, he uses almost to give value to things that never happen, so that way he can cause rifts between people. So let's say you have two people at work, two people in the workplace, and they have just a normal relationship. They're not friends, they're not enemies. But one day, one person almost hits the other person, and from now on, they're enemies. Because the one person, you almost hit me that one time years ago, because that gives me excuses and reasons to dislike you, because we didn't really have a like-dislike relationship, but now I'm going to dislike you because of something that almost happened, which means it never happened, and I'm still reacting to that fear, which if you make it sound like that, it sounds stupid, It's like, okay, seriously, go see a therapist, you have mental issues, bruvs, let it go. Anyway, it's great to let go of things. Don't hold on to things, especially things that never actually happened. And please try not to fall into the devil's trap of hating someone because of something that may or may not have happened in the past. It's especially prevalent when you have people who are enemies. over nothing. Literally nothing happened, but they're enemies. I mean, doesn't that literally sound like the definition of what the devil's trying to do? Is it's two people up against each other. Anyway, I'm starting to ramble, so I'm going to cut this short. Feel free to subscribe. Support me on Patreon if you feel up to it. And remember Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And remember, come to goodness, come.